filmed a whole ass 10-minute speech and TikTok was like, no, you didn't. And it's so funny because it stopped doing that for a while and now it's doing it again. Anyways, my whole speech, I'm going to condense it now the best I can because I'm not repeating it again. I have felt my entire life like the lesson is that I'm meant to be alone. The lesson is that I am meant to be abandoned and rejected, that I can't have the one thing I crave most in this world, which is connection. And while the outcome is still the same, I felt like I had this moment where I was looking at a picture of my mom and just thinking of how the whole abandonment and rejection and whatnot is kind of true with her too. I know it's confusing. I love my mom. I miss her. I grieve her every fucking day. And it's hard, and there are times where I just wish she was back. But deep down I know that even though she had changed a lot, even if she was, things probably, like, it wouldn't fix it. You know, it would come with its own pain, its own heartache, its own likely rejection. I'm sure once I came out, it probably would have. But anyways, well, that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is the lesson I really think is choosing myself. Because I had to do that. That day my mom threw an ultimatum at me of stop having sex, which I wasn't yet, but stop having sex. You're 19 years old, you're an adult, you can do whatever you want, but stop doing that because Jesus, which she wasn't like super religious, it was more just she knew I was, and I think it was a control. I mean, I know it was a control, it was a manipulation thing, and it was like, either you stop doing that or you get out of the house. And I'm like, bye. Grabbed my seizure medication, my journals, threw it in a purse, and walked in the rain down, what is it, Barstow Road, is that Highway 247? Whatever that is, from Lucerne Valley, like the middle of nowhere of Lucerne Valley, trying to get to where the boyfriend who became the husband and then the ex-husband was. Anyways, also, I have to share a fun story about that one day, but we'll do that later. But I chose myself. Like, as much as, like, I loved my mom and I would have done anything for her, and there was a lot of, I don't want to say people pleasing, but like, I'm very self-sacrificing, and it's taken me a long time to realize that that's not necessarily a good thing. I'm not saying that there aren't parts of that can be a good thing, but the reality is I have lost so much of myself. And so I'm just thinking within the context of my current situation, because last night I was up, and I have been up, crying every night. I wake up crying, bones aching, devastated, just really deeply heartbroken. And I'm not saying like I'm not gonna not feel that way, because I know me, but I had this moment where I was like, I'm crying to the point that my seizure threshold, my stress levels are, and I'm getting really like dizzy and really nauseous. Like, it's just not it, especially with my health. Like, it's not a vibe. And as much as my little heart aches, and I am aware that some of these things are my own choosing, my own actions, whatever, but I was just thinking, like, I'm here a complete wreck over people who couldn't text me back, who couldn't check in on me when I wasn't okay, when I really needed that. And that's not to shame them. I love them and I respect them so much. But, like, why am I here crying over people who probably aren't even thinking about me, aren't even worried? Like, why am I literally losing sleep, having seizures, having flare-ups, worse, and obviously they're not the cause of my symptoms, but stress lowers your seizure threshold. Stress makes everything in your body worse. And so why am I doing this to myself? And not that it would be okay if they actually, like, if they were showing, because I do think some people do care. But that's, feeling and showing are two very different things. And it's okay if someone can't show something, or they can't be there for you, or they can't be your friend, that's fine. But at the end of the day, like, why am I just, like, it's not fair to me. And so this, in conclusion, this is me trying to choose me, and that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna be a baby and cry or wake up crying. I can't help the waking up crying, because it's just like I don't know. Anyways, I won't get into that, but it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm just telling myself, like, okay, if a little 19-year-old Sarah could choose herself when it came to her mom, and I had no idea what was going to happen. I didn't know if, like, John was going to help or take me in. I didn't know if I was going to be able to reach out to my sister. Like, I had no idea what was going to happen. And I just knew I had to leave, I guess. And if I could do that then, in a much scarier context, I can do that now. I can do that now. And I continue. I've done it so much over and over and over again. And maybe it's not just like, that's the lesson. I hope this isn't the, end all be all in my life, that I have to only just have myself, because the lesson is choosing myself. But I hope that by going through it again and again and again, and realizing the act of love that I have given myself again and again and again by choosing myself, whether that is after a person has walked away, or me walking away from the person, or whatever it is. Yeah. Hopefully this doesn't not save, because I talked a lot. Also, look at Miss Riv. She is cozy. She's living her best fucking life over there, and that is what we should all be doing. She's most definitely choosing herself. Yeah, Mom is talking shit about you in a good way, though.